Hi, everybody. Welcome to Reality Bites TV, where we talk about all things reality TV shows and all things reality TV show stars. Please check if you are subscribed to this channel and make sure that you press the notification bell so that you don't miss out on the new videos when we post. So let's do the full review of episode 11 of the Bala Family, the reality show. And listen, you guys, every episode I'm getting more and more frustrated with the show because I do feel like they are not clear in their communication. Sometimes they act like we understand what they are discussing, what they are talking about, when they are not explaining it well for us to follow the conversation. Remember last week, they gave the car to umama, okay? Kahle kahle, Loiso and Jen gave the car to umama. Somebody on Twitter was actually asking, how come they were acting like it's everybody's gift, like it's everybody giving mama the car, okay? I don't know, you guys. Maybe Loiso felt like he just doesn't want any problems. He just doesn't want to look like he wants to look good to mama, so he wants everybody there. Or they wanted everybody to come and celebrate with mama. But I think mama uyabona ukuthi i-gifts is from Loiso and Jen, because it's a car that she knew belongs to Loiso and Jen. So that's not a gift from Zwei, Pinky, Phelo. That's a gift from Jen and Zwei. So after this scene that they're shooting here, it looks like it's just after that scene where Phelo had walked away from the scene because he was too drunk and everybody was upset with him. Everybody was shouting at him, and he walks away from the scene because he's drunk, okay? Now, they decide after to have the sibling meeting. So it's Zwei, it's Pinky, it's Loiso, and it's Phelo. I didn't see the point of that meeting because he is drunk, okay? Your issue, your problem with Phelo is that he drinks a lot. He's always drunk. Why would you have a meeting about it while he is drunk? Okay, it did not make sense that they were insisting on having that meeting at that time. Loiso is of the same view that he doesn't understand. He's like, do we have to have this meeting right now? But I'm getting to a point where I'm irritated now with Loiso because I feel like, then speak up. If you don't think it's a good idea to have a meeting while Phelo is drunk, then say so. Say, I'm not going to be part of this meeting. He is drunk. He's not going to hear us while he's drunk. We need to wait for him to be sober for us to address whatever it is that we are going to address, okay? Now, you guys, this is what I'm thinking. It's clear that the Bala siblings don't really spend time together, and the show is forcing them to spend time together. How do we know that? Because when they started shooting this season, they did say that they hadn't seen or spoken to each other in months. Okay, so they're not really a family that spends a lot of time together as siblings. So now, Zwei being part of production for the show, the reason he's around the family is because he wants to shoot the show. Now, would he be spending time with Phelo if it wasn't for the show? No. Would he be spending time with Loiso? No. Maybe Pinky, maybe not. Now, the camera crew or just the production crew is already there shooting the scene of mom getting the car. So they just wanted to get one more scene, okay? Under normal circumstances, that meeting didn't make sense. But if you think about the fact that they're shooting a show, and I think Zwei is on business most of the time, because the reason we are even together is because we're shooting the show. So how are we not going to get the scene that we were supposed to get between the siblings? Whether umuntu dakiwe or not, we are working here, so we are going to get the scene. Also, he's not worried about how Phelo is looking on the show, and I don't feel like any of the family members are worried about it, because if they were, they will find a way to deal with the situation so that it's sorted, okay? So I feel like because the family has dealt with Phelo a lot before even the show began, maybe they are over it. They are over him getting drunk and all of that. They actually don't care. The reason that they are together is because Zwai really wants to make sure that they get those scenes for the show. Whether afterwards Phelo gets sober or doesn't or continues to drink or all of that, I don't think that they even care at this point. And that's the thing, you guys, because I feel like there's no reason to do that sin. There is no reason to do that sin unless it's really because, listen, budget, time. We need to have content ready by this time. So, it felt like that kind of a situation. So they do sit down, you guys, to talk. Loisa said he's not clear about what the purpose of the meeting is, but I'm like, then ask, then ask your siblings, why are we meeting now? What is the purpose of this meeting? Shouldn't we be doing this later on? The people that seem to be clued up about what the purpose of the meeting was Uzwai and Pink, and I think it's because they communicate a lot between the two of them. And guys, listen, they need to do better next season because they are communicating with each other and they are used to the way that they communicate with each other, but they have to understand that there are people behind the cameras that need to understand what's going on so that we can enjoy the show, so that we can say we want season 3, but we're not understanding even what the conversation is about. It's like trying to solve a puzzle. When you're listening to Bala family talking, communicating with each other, it's like you're trying to solve a puzzle. Okay, you're like, oh, this is what they're talking about. Oh, yeah, because initially I just thought the conversation is going to be focused on Phelo is drinking a lot. This is not acceptable. How do we help him so that we can move forward? But at some point, I felt like the conversation was really about the group, the singing group. Okay, is he going to still be part of the group when he is drinking a lot? Now, that part of it, you guys, I'm not understanding it because as far as we have seen on the show, there might have been other performances that they've had. Phelo shows up when they are supposed to perform. Phelo shows up, and when they are supposed to perform, Phelo shows up sober. Okay, he even says it, you guys. He says, "I have been showing up." So not only does he show up for the performances, he shows up to shoot the show. With the performances, he will show up sober, but for the show, he doesn't show up sober. He shows up drunk. Okay, part of me feels like, you know what, Phelo, you need to try and not drink when you are shooting. But at the same time, I feel like it's a reality. It's a reality TV show. And if that's what he's going through, I guess that's what we are supposed to see. So I'm not understanding how they are getting to a point where they are saying Phelo is a problem. So we need to make decisions on whether he is part of this or not when he doesn't miss any of the performances, or we haven't seen him miss any of the performances. It gets to a point where he even says himself that he is tired of feeling like he is begging to be part of the Bala family. Okay, and because now of the name, he has to use it and he has to beg to be part of the group. Honestly, you guys, I don't know. I do feel like if Phelo was serious about his own music career, he could do very well, but he's not focused. And the fact that he drinks a lot as well, it doesn't help. So it's actually better for him to be in a group, because in a group, there are 2 other people that you have to be accountable to and that you're not going to want to disappoint. And so the group setting for Phelo works. I don't know if it will work if he is just going ahead and doing it on his own. Honestly, you guys, there wasn't anything positive that came out of the meeting that they did. And it was impossible for it to be like that because Phelo was drunk. Is he even going to remember what you guys were talking about the following day? Even as they were sitting talking, he had a drink in his hand, So I'm getting to a point where I'm like, okay, I understand you guys want to shoot the show, but you have a crisis in the family. I feel like that. I feel like you have a crisis in the family. Can we see the family address the crisis? Okay. If the issue is that you've tried to send Phelo to rehabs and all of that, at least talk about that so that we can be able to take your side in this whole thing. For me, it just looks like nobody cares what happens with Phelo. It's a crisis, but nobody cares what happens with him as long as they get the show. It feels like that, okay? Now, you guys, I did not know that Ubaba Mncane Phelo had passed away. Remember, last week he was supposed to go by his family to see Ubaba, but it's not really his father, it's his father's twin that he was going to see. They say they ended up not going, which is sad because 2 weeks later they say he passed away. So after he passed away, obviously Phelo has to go now and see the family and all of that, and he's really heartbroken about the passing of this one. I'll say uncle because in English do we have Baba Mncane, okay? Now, you guys, he gets there. Obviously, the family is there and all of that. The whole situation was so confusing. Okay, so he's lost his Baba Mncane and he's home. They're supposed to prepare for the funeral and everything. Now, you guys, at some point they have a family meeting. This is now not the Bala family, Phelo's family. They have a family. It was so funny, guys. Why do people have family meetings? When they have a family meeting, so there was the uncle that now is like in charge now because they were having a meeting as a family. This one aunt decides that she wants to pray. But the uncle says, no, I'm the chair. You also saw that he was like a speaker of parliament, you know? It's like, you're not going to stand up unless I say you must stand up. You know, you're not going to just pray here. I'm going to decide who prays. I'm like, guys. So I thought that scene was so fun. So they ended up praying. I think someone else ended up praying. And then this is the part that confused me. And maybe some of you would really like explain it to me. Or I need to go back and watch because the meeting took place and everything. And they go to the church. I thought it's the funeral, okay? They go to the church and Phelo said this is where they were going to view the body at the chapel. Yeah. So they go there, they view the body, everything. I'm thinking it's a funeral already. So maybe it must have been the memorial service or something. That's what I'm saying. They don't explain what they're doing. It's like, we're just going to do what we do. You figure it out, okay? So when they got there, they're viewing the body. Obviously, the coffin and everything is there. I'm thinking it's the funeral. Then the next thing we see Phelo speaking to the lady from the funeral parlor, trying to negotiate with them to help them with the funeral at a discount. Guys, why was I so embarrassed with that scene? Can we call Avbob? Can we call Avbob? I don't know if we should call Cebole to you guys, okay? Because people have been complaining to say, Cebole does funerals very, very well when it's a celebrity and it's like one of those people that are known and the funeral will be publicized. But it's a different story when you are just an average person, okay? But okay, guys, let's call Avbobs, let's call our Ceboletus, you know, let's call our banks, even our banks, guys, the funeral covers, okay? Let's call our employers because some of our employers also have an option for you to take funeral. Let's call everybody, you know, let's make sure that our family members are covered. It's just that some of us black people, our families will be so big, you will not be able to cover every single person. But I was just embarrassed by it, you guys, especially him being Phelo Bala. And then, you know, I don't think that they had a policy. He does mention something, there was an issue with the police or whatever. But he was trying to, he was saying that he is trying to negotiate with them to give them a discount. But I felt like he's basically just trying to say, can you bury Uba Mncane for free? And you could see like that woman's face going, you know. I was like, Hi guys, please let's take omasingcwabisane noma sithathe omasingcwabisane laba basemakhaya basemalokishini but something, hey, so that we are not asking for discounts. Angazi guys, I was embarrassed. Am I wrong? Yeah, I was embarrassed that situation. So, but the woman ended up agreeing, to do it. I don't know if there was a conversation that took place, because really when Phelo is introducing that idea to this woman to say, we're just asking, can you do a discount? Now, here's the thing that's confusing me. You already have a coffin and whatever. They already went to church. So I'm like, what are you negotiating for? Apparently the coffin that he was in at the church must have been a display, but now they still need to pay for the funeral. There was another scene, guys, where Zwei finally was introducing his youngest baby to his kids, which was a cute scene, you guys. Zwei with his kids, okay? I don't know if the rest of the family has met the baby. I know Loisa had issues with the fact that they were not told that there is a new baby, but But the scene with Zwei and his kids and meeting the baby, it was such a cute scene. So it's good to get like nice, positive scenes on this show, because it's getting to a point where every single scene, it's almost like sending us to depression. The way it is so frustrating. And then we also see Uzwai calling Upinki, and they're talking about Phelo. Apparently he didn't communicate very well about the funeral, the fact that kushoniwe khaya, that he will be going to the funeral. Listen, you guys, I am not blind to the fact that Phelo has a lot of things to work on. Phelo has a lot of things to fix, and sometimes it is frustrating for the family to deal with him. But in this situation, I felt like, like if your sibling is going through something and it's something that you need to be there for, sometimes you just have to be like, let me just go to the funeral. Let me just show up for the funeral. Because there's nothing negative that can come out of you showing up for the funeral. You know what I mean? I think the siblings should have supported Phelo, especially because he is already feeling like he is not really part of the Bala, But if they go with him, he will feel like, okay, I'm not alone here, which is a good thing, because the mother did show up with a few of family members, but the siblings were not there. So Uzwai was complaining, Phelo is using this whole thing of not having the same father as them against them. I don't get it, you guys. I absolutely don't get it. I don't get what Zwai's expectation is as far as Phelo is concerned, and him having he has a different family. He has a different father, and he's going to need to attend to that part of his family. So what do you need from him? And also, it could just be a matter of them not communicating well with us as the viewers to explain yourself. Why do you have an issue with that, so that we can understand it? Maybe we can be on your side, but I'm not understanding it. So apparently, Pinky had the same problem, that when they came and they fetched to Phelo, she was there, but she wasn't told, and all of that. Now, you guys, the funeral takes place. Mother is there with some of the family members. And the mom is also saying that this is the father that played a big role in Phelo's life. So it's a big loss for him. Okay. So now at the funeral, Phelo speaks, very emotional speech, you guys. But I already knew that he was also a little bit drunk, but it was emotional. And everything, the service goes well. They go to now the grave sites. This is where things go wrong. Because when they get there, now they're preparing everything. I don't know. I'm always going to say, since they don't communicate with us well, we had to figure out, apparently they were burying the Ubaba Mncane eThuneni, that Phelo didn't think it was the right grave. I don't know why. They're not explaining, is it the wrong, is it away from the other family members? Is it too close to the other family members? Is it on top of a family? I don't know. But for some reason, Phelo was not happy with the fact that Ubaba Mncane is being buried where he's being buried. They're saying it was supposed to be a different position, different sides. And he starts, because he's drunk, you guys, he was rolling on the floor. He was wearing a suit, rolling on the floor, being dusty. He was running around. They were running after him. No, I azange ngibe disappointed kanje Phelo. After you guys, he did so much. Like I was like, because most of the time, even when we were speaking to the lady at the funeral parlor, he was looking very sober, dealing with the family, all of that. I was like, hey, bo, nango Phelo ever responsible, nango Phelo arranging a whole funeral from his father's side sober. Ha. Bengingabuzanga elangeni shame. Bengingabuzanga elangeni. Hayibo, the rolling on the floor, Phelo. The rolling on the floor. The laughing. The crying and then laughing. I'm like, listen, you guys. Phelo is an adult. And if Phelo wants to get sober, Phelo can get sober on his own. However, I feel like sometimes families do get to a point where they have to be like, no, hold on. Now, this is like a crisis for the family. Okay. Nothing else matters right now. We need to make sure that this person goes into rehab or gets some help. I think it's a crisis. Okay. It's like a national disaster. Ramaphosa stops everything and say, listen, we need all of the resources to go towards KZN. There are floods in KZN kind of a situation. So I feel like even with the family, they need to be like, this is a family disaster. This is a family crisis. Whatever resources we have right now, whatever energies we have right now, let's gather them for this situation. Not only would it be good for Phelo and for their relationships, because also he would feel like they care, but it would be good TV as well. There will be such a good. They're missing out on like good TV. I feel like right now they're in a crisis. Them performing as a group is not even it's not even close to as important as getting Phelo help. Them even doing the whole show is not as important as getting Phelo help. Okay. I feel like the family has a crisis right now. The focus should be on getting Phelo help. Okay. Now, you guys, I don't know. I was looking at their social media to try and figure out, are they performing with each other recently after they were done with the show, or was the last performance the one where they did while shooting the show? I didn't see anything recent, you guys. So there are possibilities that they actually didn't continue as a group, but I guess we will find out eventually what happens. But Phelo needs help. And I know that he is still drinking because I do watch him on his social media, and I've watched his lives where he is doing lives and drinking. So, but that scene was so disappointing. Also, like everybody now is watching. Even the mother had to leave the funeral because she was like, listen, this child is going to embarrass me. So I would rather just gather my things and go, because what am I going to be sitting here for? And the mother and the people that were with her, they got in the car, they left. Wasala kuphela. The cousins, whoever, they were begging him, but some of them were just looking at him like, hey, nango gelo. Ay, cha uphela shame. Listen, you guys, I think that thing, you remember when was it Cannibal who posted that sometimes when people suffer from like anxiety and things that can be treated with therapy and medication, they'll be going and tossering, And I think, honestly, Phelo is one of those people that probably didn't need ukutasa, but needed to go to therapy, needed to go to rehab. The time you spend gakobela if why rehab. So sometimes into yokuthwasa nobungoma nje, it's like sometimes when people are dealing with mental, issues, instead of addressing it the other way, they just go by uthwasa. But uthwasa doesn't help you, But anyway, you guys, that was the episode for today. Thank you so much for watching this video. Tell me what you think about it in the comment section. Were you as disappointed as I was? But guys, how embarrassing was that scene when he was negotiating a discount? Yo, let me check on my funeral cover. Shame. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please like it before Pumegona, share it with your friends, with your family, and even with strangers.